Welcome back to the Interdisciplinary Studies in Three Departments Major podcast. If you are at this point, you are interested in pursuing the major. So what I want to do is help you draft a master plan. And we'll start with some of the things that you need to consider when you're drafting a master plan. Point number one is that not all departments on campus can accommodate IS3D students. Some departments are especially impacted and need to reserve all seats in all classes for their majors and their majors only. What we've tried to do in our brochure is identify the departments that are more likely to be able to accommodate IS3D students. So the image you see here is taken directly from the brochure that we've got posted on our website. These are the departments that are most likely to be able to accommodate IS3D students because they are least impacted. Even within a department that's not especially impacted, a department that is able to accommodate IS3D students, even within those departments, there might be certain classes that will not be available to IS3D students because those classes are restricted to majors only within that department. An example of this would be RTM. So what you see here is just a small screen capture of the RTM section of the class schedule. And what it helps us do is illustrate how even a participating department like RTM might not make all of its classes available to IS3D students. What you want to look for in the class schedule is the ZM footnote that you see for RTM 469 and RTM 470. You do not see the ZM footnote for RTM 404 and RTM 475. This is an important distinction. When you do see the ZM footnote, as with 469 and 470, what that means is that the RTM department is restricting access to that class to only RTM majors. And even if RTM is one of your three departments, you're still not an RTM major, you're an IS3D major. So those classes 469 and 470 are not going to be open to you through the registration system. And when you present your master plan to the advisor in the RTM department, which you'll have to do, and we'll talk about that in more detail later, the advisor is very likely to say no to 469 and no to 470 because those classes are restricted. Much more likely to say yes to RTM 404 and yes to RTM 475 because they are not restricted. So looking for that ZM footnote in the class schedule will give you a good sense for which classes are and aren't going to be available to you within a given department. The other thing you might want to think about when you are drafting your master plan is to give yourself more choices to create scheduling flexibility. Let's go back to the previous example of English, RWS, and Sociology with the balanced 12-12-12 units to meet the requirement of 36 across all three departments. Notice how this master plan lists not just 12 units in each department, but 21 units of coursework in each department to create more scheduling flexibility. By specifying 12, 12, and 12 down at the bottom, what this student has done is identified the number of units in each department that will be applied towards graduation. And by giving himself or herself more choices to choose from, creating scheduling flexibility. So, for example, if that first class in English, 3XX, isn't offered in a semester that the student really needs an English class, it's okay because there are a lot of other options to choose from. It's not a requirement to do it this way. You could list only 12 units in each department and say you're going to take all 12 if you want. The problem with that is if a given class is not offered when you need it, now you have to go through the process of seeking approval for a replacement class, which just requires more jumping through hoops that, in my opinion, you don't need to do if up front you create scheduling flexibility following the model you see here. So, if you're interested in drafting a master plan and pursuing the IS3D major, here's what you need to do. Spend some time with that catalog to generate ideas. And when we say ideas, we mean ideas about A, the departments that you choose, that's the middle image you see, and B, the specific courses that you choose. That's what's suggested by the image on the right. What you'll do then is create a preliminary draft of a master plan, identifying the departments and the courses that you are interested in. So, for example, what you see here could conceivably be a master plan including English, RWS, and Sociology. You see it meets all the unit requirements, 6 lower division prep units in each department, 36 upper division units across all 3 with at least 9 in each individual department in the upper division. This would be a master plan that could conceivably work. What you'd need to do, though, is bring that plan to the IS3D advisor in the administration building, because there are certain things that the advisor can tell you that you might not know about individual classes, about individual departments. And the advisor will help you, if necessary, revise your master plan and get it to the point where it can be approved at the next level. And that next level is the level of the individual department advisors. So you'll see the IS3D advisor in the administration building. You see in the lower right-hand corner the usual office hours. Sometimes they change, but the usual office hours are there, 11:30 through 1 on Mondays and Thursdays. Walk in, no appointment necessary. Once you've received approval from the IS3D advisor, the next level of approval is at the individual departments. So what you will need to do is present your master plan to the undergraduate advisor in each of the 3 departments, and those 3 undergraduate advisors will then have to approve your master plan. What you see here is an image taken from the formal master plan form, and you can see down at the very bottom, underneath each column of coursework, you'll see a space for advisor's signature. Those are the 3 individual advisors in the 3 departments, not the IS3D advisor, but the advisor in each of the 3 departments that you've chosen to create your major. They must approve of your master plan. In some cases, they'll sign off on your master plan exactly as you've presented it. In some cases, they won't sign off at all. They may tell you that they won't participate. In other cases, they may sit down with you and revise your master plan within that department and then sign off on it. Once you've gotten the approval from all 3 of the department advisors, you will then bring your master plan back with the original signatures, and the IS3D advisor will help you change your major to IS3D and ask the university to reprogram your degree evaluation to match your master plan. So, if you are interested in pursuing the IS3D major, now's a good time to get busy. Follow the process as laid out here in this podcast. Bring your master plan draft to the IS3D advisor. The more we have to work with, the more efficient an advising session can be.